All right, so when I went to the bookstore, I really focused on finding somebody's work that really spoke to me, and that was what I consider my style of shooting, to try and find some inspiration. And I found Humans of New York by Brandon Stanton. And he has a big social media presence, so a lot of you have probably heard of him and some of his work. Brandon didn't start, he's not a trained photographer, and he didn't start learning really anything about photography until 2010, when he got his first camera, and he was a trader in Chicago at the time. And he would go out and on the weekends and just explore and just walk around the cities and take pictures of, in Chicago. And gradually, he started to figure out that he was more interested in photos that had people in it than he was of landscape type photos. So he had an idea. 6 months after he got his camera, he lost his job as a trader and decided to become a full-time photographer because he loved doing photography. So, but he had no idea where to start. So he, once he figured out that he liked the photos of people, he decided to go on the road and to go to different cities and take pictures. And his initial thought was that he would take pictures of people in neighborhoods and then have them on a map where you could click on a map and see the type of people who live in different neighborhoods in these cities. And so he left Chicago and he went to Philadelphia, and he went to a couple other big cities. And when he got to New York, he just fell in love with the people of New York. And his focus on the city neighborhoods, the kind of people in each neighborhood changed, and he decided that there's such a wealth of people in New York, and so many different people, that he knew that he could focus all of his work on the humans of New York. And he started gradually getting their stories too, as he was asking for their permission. So this is his work. And like I said, I'm just really, really attracted to his composure and his colors, and I just think it's wonderful. I love that photo. So one of the things that when I was looking through this, though, I was thinking about sequencing. And at first I really couldn't see anything about sequencing. And then I decided this whole book is a sequence. It doesn't matter what photo you put with what. His point in this book is to show the diversity of the people of New York. So when it comes to the layout of this book, I love this photo. I love that it's on both sheets, even though in the middle you lose some of the photo. It doesn't take away, at least in my eyes, it doesn't take away from the photo as a whole. But then I have some pages marked, sorry. But then you come to pictures like this, and you lose half of that person, so you don't, like, the action is gone. So I don't know that all the photos that he chose or to use as full pages worked, but in some cases it did. So there were some of my favorites. This one I like because of the quote, if you're not constantly experimenting with your art, it's too easy to end up in a box. So getting out there and doing your thing is important for all of us. I love the overall on this one. I like the way he filled these 2 pages. I like that there isn't a lot of dead space. So this, I think, because of being military and being organized, I think that's why I'm attracted to this type of layout. Let's see. That one. That's the one that really bothers me more than any others, because I love bulldogs and I want to see his whole face. And it's cut right down the middle of his head. So I'm really bothered by this photo. But the things that he saw just walking around New York is absolutely incredible. I love a good close-up that tells a story, and I love the colors in it. I like the way the background is out of focus. Just that one really spoke to me. Same with this. I can see these fitting together because of the colors, because they're each of them have a strong presence of red. I love the nostalgia of this. I love that this is so sharp. Well, you can see the motion in the taxis, so you see life kind of passing you by. And in this one, it's called, or yeah, he put distribution of wealth. And so you've got this man in his really fancy car on his cell phone, but then you have another man up in the window trying to sleep. I mean, you can tell that he's homeless. And it's just amazing to me that this is just everyday life, that there's just people that go out and they're dressed like this, just enjoying life. I love it. I was also really attracted to this photo. She just seems to really blend into her whole background. You heard the green of her headscarf and the tree, and the booths. You've got, the green from her book. Like, you can see the red from her book is in the ATM sign, and there's, lights that are in there. It just all really blend together. But because she's in focus and everything else is blurred, she really pops out at you. And then this will be the last one that I show you, and it's another example, or what I think is a good example of the double truck layout. So I absolutely fell in love with this book, and I want to explore some more of Brandon Stanton's work. And I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did.